Hello and welcome back to Remnant 2. Last time we ended up finishing off Nerud, and all we have left for main locations is Yaesha. But we're back here at Ward 13 to spend all the scrap we have. I was going to say we still have the Seeker residue because we can't make the Helix ability. We don't have the... not the simulacrums, but the other thing that I'm drawing a blank on. But actually, we'll start off with a pretty interesting little note here. If you've gotten the Infiltrator, or no, not the Infiltrator, the Invader archetype, the Invader class, in another playthrough, additional players on your account can buy the item. So all we have to do is go up here, talk to, I think it's Willis?
The traveler returned. I knew you'd say
Wallace. Okay. But we can buy the wooden shiv. So now, if I had Luminite crystal, that's what it is. If I had the Luminite, I could then just buy the Invader class and be able to equip that. But it's nice to have that, get it out of the way. Mostly because I don't know if I'm even going to get the right spawns to get that. The big thing being, while we have the Dreamcatcher, we have to go to the final location and then hope a certain location within that spawns, and then we can get the class normally. So I might not even be able to show you it. Now, there's a few things. First off, we'll talk to Whispers. Keep in mind, a lot of this is acquired from beating the game once. That's how you get the Void Armor, the Radiant Armor, the Elder stuff, the Cultist, the Bandit. I think that's how you get Leto Mark 1. That's how you get the Realm Walker stuff. You actually have to get the Realm Walker class, or I think it's Explorer? I think it's Explorer class. But there's a lot. Otherwise, you can get these armor sets if you buy, like, the above normal edition. It's not really worth it, because the armor you find will work just fine. But we'll buy Anastasia's Inspiration. It's an expensive ring, but we need it if we want to get the Archon class. I don't know if we will actually need to buy it for this, or if when I get the class on my main, if I can just buy the item here and not have to go there. But we'll pick up the Bandit's Mask, because I know that's a good piece of armor. The High Noon Duds. And for the most part, I don't need any of this other stuff at the moment, because then what I can do is go Leto Mark 2, the High Noon chess piece. Actually, I can wiggle a bit more out of this because of the Rusted Navigator's pendant. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that might be a little too much trying to go for the Leto Mark 2. Okay, so I'm still a little over. Trying to think of how I have this on my main character. We can go with this for now. It's still pretty good armor. It looks pretty cool. But we'll talk to her. Cass, because she has a bunch of stuff we can buy. Constrained Heart, it's not bad. Bulwark is 6% damage reduction, so for 5 seconds you get 12% damage reduction. I wish I could extend that duration, because I would. A Brace of Whetstone can be useful if we get the right items. Nothing else stands out. But we have the money, so we might as well just pick up some junk and add it to the collection.
Your debt's still at 2 now. Remember that.
Always nice to just round out the collection of rings and amulets, because sometimes you end up switching up your build. Also, something to note with the Rusted Navigator's Pendant. There's 2 versions of this. There's obviously the rusted version, or if on Nerud, if you get the other boss, not the one we had, but the other one, Talratha, if you let yourself get swallowed, this item gets replaced with the Navigator's Pendant, which gives you 20 health, 20 stamina, and minus 10 armor encumbrance. So there's value to it, but you are giving up something in the process. Do I have any rings? I don't have the fun one that I like. There's a ring I have, I can't remember where to get it. But when you take damage, you regen 10% of your max health. Yeah, Reggie doesn't have it. Bright Steel Ring isn't bad. Fast evade regardless of encumbrance. We need these 2 for getting the Acolyte. But you have to beat the game, so I'm not too concerned about getting it here and now. Also, something to note, I am not... Might as well wait, because he's going to talk to this guy in a second. Are you hurt?
Those foreign to the pound have not been seen upon Yaesha for long and long.
What's wrong with you?
The past once takes me. Or is it now simply part of what I am? It has been so long. The difference hardly matters. But the Baxeltak, how comes it here, to Yaesha?
I came from Earth using some kind of giant red crystal.
A red crystal. I have seen them in my restless slumber. The pestilence think of them often, especially the stones of the Baxeltak's Earth. I am Bedel of the Vaunt. When this world was young, the pan did service to the green and growing things. Now, the pan betrays the world. And the world, the wolf, betrays the pan.
You mentioned a wolf. That's not a metaphor, is it? Because I'm after powerful beasts.
The Ravager, plague of the pan and defiler of the doe. The wolf hunts all, yet is itself unhunted. To the shame of all pan. Once part of the balance, the immortal Ravager has cast aside this world and pledged fealty to the pestilence that would destroy all worlds. And the Red Doe, that which held the Ravager in check for long and long, has not been seen in an age. If it seeks to save its own life and world, the Baxeltak must hunt the Ravager and end it.
I'll do what I can.
The beast is not alone. The lame here have given them themselves to it in service. One servant of the Eternal Empress. Many Lemir have been seduced by the Ravager's blood-soaked tongue, and thus betrayed the ban. Beware, Baxutak. They will fight until the beast's final breath.
Sounds dangerous.
More than it can imagine, Baxutak. Trade? Perhaps. Money is of little use to me for obvious reasons, but others may find value in what the Paxultak may leave behind. Take what it will, Paxultak, but leave something it considers of equal value. Sacrifice to the balance, and give to the band.
Okay. Rot Ward's not that amazing. Restriction Cord can be useful. And Death's Embrace. It's definitely not bad, but I don't have the money for it.
A worthy home for a worthy bubble. Let the Paxultak's own generosity brighten the sun herself.
But I was going to say, there's an event here that is the Blood Moon. And it's the way that you get the Summoner class. You have to harvest these, like, Blood Echoes. Blood Moon Essence. And I'm not gonna sit here and, like, do it. If I see them, I'll shoot them. But I'm not gonna go out of my way and be like, oh, I need to hunt these down, because it's a lot of, like, reloading areas in the hope of getting the right spawns. And in the end, it's all doable. It's just sometimes you're saving and reloading the same spot 10, 15 times. You're just like hopping between a gate, hoping for a shift in the ambient weather, and it's annoying. It's doable, it's not anything major, it's just when you're actively looking for the stuff, it takes forever. If you're just kind of doing it, it seems to come a lot faster. But I think that's just the illusion of our own expectations of things. Vengeance Idol, what do you do? Increases all damage dealt when the wearer is below 50% health. So there's a few. If you grab that ring from Bedell, you could kind of do some wonky stuff. Restrict yourself to 50% health, get that damage reduction, get a bunch of damage ups. I can't remember if you get twisted wounds from here or not. If you do, I'm probably actually going to toss that on this rifle, because I don't think the mod I have on here is worth it. I have to check because half the time I forget what I'm using. Harmonizer, yeah, I could easily put twisting wounds on this. And that'll make critical hits and weak points, when it's maxed out, inflict like 200 damage over 5 seconds for bleed. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but for garbage enemies, that's easily just pop them once and you can just walk off. And in the end, that's kind of the critical thing, is just making yourself ammo efficient. Yeah, we'll go this way until it ends, which is right here. Okay, cool. I was going to say we'll just keep going, because this is very unlike Nerud, where Nerud is just like, hey, here's a more or less a giant rectangle. You can just cross it up wherever you want. Yaesha is... it's a forest. So the whole time you're cutting through winding paths and areas that loop back on itself. Oh, hey, there's an event down there. Do I want this guy for this? He's probably my best option. So, the Root Nexus, this is difficult at times, but we also have the altar. Our Blood Moon altar, which, if you don't have the Summoner class as your start, all of the knotted armor is available there. So, take that as you will. Oh, this guy. There we go. Yeah, you get all the armor, and then you can get the Soul Anchor, which isn't that good. I think the old version was like, while you had summons active, you got bonus damage, and now it's just summon and you get 30 seconds of bonus damage. Soul Guard is good, because that bulwark, like I said with the one heart that we didn't get, it's 6% damage reduction for each stack, and that lasts as long as you have a summon. So if you get the two little floaty, squiddly dudes, that's 6% for each, so you're sitting at 12% damage reduction for free. Blade of Ghoul, it's like a dagger. That's about it. And then, if you're running Alchemist, you could do concoctions, but the Blood Moon Essence cost kind of makes it a bit steep. I guess if you run Yaesha enough, it's not a big deal. But until you've run it a fair amount and you have a bunch of Essence in reserve, it's a bit pricey to be like, oh yeah, I'll just throw one at an hour, or if you're an Alchemist, a 2-hour buff. Alright, now for this fight. Actually, can I... oh, you can. Well, that's neat. I can kinda expedite this process then. But you do have to watch out, because a bunch of dudes start getting summoned. Okay, let's get a heal done on him. Because I'd like my Reaver to be max health while I'm trying to burn this down. Because that guy is a problem. Unless he just gets, like, bodied by my Reaver. Upside. Can pop that again. And there's no point in me trying to slow the Nexus, because it's not actually based on, like, an ability. It's just at certain health gates, it triggers a summon.
Well, at least that's over.
Kind of interesting seeing the pan corpses in here. But that amulet was Hollowed Egg. Spending at least 30% of your firearm's magazine to deal damage increases melee damage. I don't see value in it. I think there are far better amulets available. It's kind of the curse of some of these things where even if it was like your first amulet, I still think you could probably find something more useful.
Nah, can't carry anymore.
Because stuff like that is very much you're a melee build, and you're just kind of getting close. The way you could do it is if you were using, like, the coach gun, or the sniper, or the hunting pistol that's a single shot, and you just run up, pop the shot, get your 7 seconds of 10% damage up, and then you just wail on them. You could try to extend that by reloading and popping additional shots, because I think it'll reset the timer. But I think at a certain point, you're going to have to build that entirely around reload speed, and you're going to get a weird build for sure. And I don't know, the efficiency of it, and it's just not going to pan out well, I think. Because I'm just trying to run it through my head what other things you could put on your weapons. And nothing major stands out. Kind of like running the crossbow like what we did early on.
Won't fit.
It works and you can do stuff, but it is definitely not an end game or, I would argue, even mid-game build. And that is admitting, like, my current build with this slow is a crutch. It is undoubtedly a crutch. I could use different abilities to have different effects and probably be just as effective. It's just this hits so hard that it's really difficult to look at and be like, no, we don't need this. It's like, yeah, we kind of do. It's a little too good to just let go. Let's get this side dungeon cleared. Question is, what is this dungeon gonna be? Because some of these, Yaesha especially has a lot of non-combat dungeons. I think they have like 2 or 3. No, I think this is a combat dungeon. Cathedral of Omens. Oh, is this the... There's like a booby trap dungeon, which is tolerable.
What the hell happened here?
I've gone through it once and it was a trip. Oh no, this is... I said it and I was right. It's one of the non-combat dungeons.
Well, that's ominous.
So, we're not gonna do, I think, all of it, part because one of these doors, I think, or it's within one of these doors, you have to do this during a blood moon. And I don't know when that's gonna be. I could step out and it could be a blood moon, or I could do this whole run and not get one. Yeah, I hope you enjoy notes, because this is going to be a note dungeon. Because one of these, this room up here, we have to look at a book, and I'm going to have to repeat the same thing to myself like 8 times so I remember it. Okay, so let's do this in order. So we gotta do arrow left. So arrow left is Calamity. So that's Ravager, Death, Doe. It's not what I wanted. Also, I needed to check what death is again. Death is the top looking thing from Inception, so that one. This isn't even the right lever. It's this lever. Brother, what lever is it? Did I just zone out and not pay attention? I did, but, you know, it happens. So it's gotta be this one. Yeah, it is. I'm just dumb. Okay, so that lines up. So it's Ravager, Doe, Death. And there we go. Door? You wanna do the thing? Or are you the one that's annoying? Or did I read it wrong? I could have read it wrong. Huh. Should have worked. Unless we're being real stupid about this. Let's try something really dumb. You know what? You can go bye-bye for now. You aren't important to this story. Because it says Ravager above, and it could be real stupid and be like, oh, it has to be that one. I can't imagine it would be that stupid, but it could be, knowing my luck, and I've just stumbled through this every time I've encountered it. Yeah, so it literally is me just stumbling through it every time. Cool. Faith Seed. Faith Seed? Never got that before, that's neat. Boy howdy, I hope that doesn't suck. Okay, now what's the next one we gotta do? Upper left corner. Blood Moon, so Ravager below. Okay, wait. Moon, Ravager, Sun. Man, this is looking real weird. I'm gonna cheat and pull up the wiki because I don't remember how I did this the first time. And I swear I swear I didn't have to have, like, the specific, like, below, above thing. Oh, wait, I know the problem. I think that's the Blood Moon door. But there's a secret door, too. At least I thought, because I thought that's how you get the bow Saggitarius. Let's try this. So that should point that way. And then gotta rotate all of these. And then we gotta rotate one ring so that it covers these two, and then those two will be covered, and that should get us Saggitarius. Yeah, let's go! Yeah, because the other door, that just gives you the Ring of Omens. And some Blood Moon Essence, and the Ring of Omens is evades cost 15% max health as gray health instead of stamina. So I guess if you want to build that way, you can. It's still kind of weird. And yeah, we can't even open it because Blood Moon, and like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and just keep trying. I'll go right back in if I step outside and it's Blood Moon, but I don't think it's going to be that generous, to say the least. Yeah, it's not a Blood Moon. We'll do a proper, weapon showcase later, but just for now, the Saggitarius, it's a bow, and you can make it. Well, as it says, it opens a portal that rains down star fragments, and they do blast. So, if you have detonation trigger, which I don't have. Oh yeah, because I didn't get the piston part on Nerud. But if you have it, you could have them trigger the explosions and do that whole song and dance. Is it worth doing? I don't know. It's one of those builds where I know it exists, I've just never done it. Mostly because the summoner build, I think, is strong enough. And even though you can just mush the two together because it's literally just swap your amulet and swap your primary. And if you want to, you could even put the harmonizer mod on it and do more damage. It's just, I have the Fargazer, and the Fargazer, as we've seen with the one root nexus, it just shreds. So, it's a bit of a tough break. But, that is all for now. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button, it helps out the channel a lot, and if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.